God day, God day, God day. What's going on, world? Welcome to the morning shift with Cofield, where we shift your perspective to only see what you wish to experience, man. Thank y'all for showing up again. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for being here. So yesterday, just to say it, yesterday I got banned off TikTok for 3 days. They suspended my live. And they said that I was talking about HATE speech and HATFUL behaviors. I'm like, what? If some of y'all watched my talk yesterday, it had nothing to do with none of that. I don't know what they're talking about, but regardless, we just keep moving, right? So, if y'all know anybody on TikTok that's to listen to the show, y'all can stream, jump on there and tell them to come on over to Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, any of those things. We still streaming, right? So, yeah, man, it's pretty frustrating to go through that because I know it's literally ridiculous, right? I just had an idea when I told y'all that I'm gonna do the same thing, do a quick little video for people. What's going on TikTok? I got banned for some reason yesterday, and so I can't stream for 3 days to the 27th. So come on over to Facebook, either YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram, and I'm streaming live there right now for the morning show with Corey Cofield. Today we're talking about taking the scenic route, how not taking the fast way out can be better for you. So come on over and check it out. Peace. Yeah, y'all. So, hey, I don't know what it was all about, but see, sometimes when you doing stuff and you affecting lives and you helping people, it's a lot of stuff that may come up against you. You know what I'm saying, to keep you from moving forward, but you got to move forward anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. Yo, head over to my other social media platform, streaming live now. So yeah, they blocked me, banned me, talking about I did some hate speech and some hateful behavior, and I'm like, what are y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But like I said, you can't lose what you're doing because the people act up. Trying to head over to my other social media. Yeah, man. Head over. Yeah, that really upset me, man. But it's all good. Got restricted from TikTok until the 27th. Streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitch. Right now, jump on. Oh man, but today, y'all, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Today we're talking about taking the scenic routes. Streaming live now. Taking the scenic route. A lot of us want to get things fast, and we want to take the long route, but how many know that's maybe not the best thing to do, right? And today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how taking the easy route is not always the best thing to do. Just say like this, my dad used to always say, take the stairs, son. Take the stairs. God day, everybody. Welcome to the morning shift with Corey Cofield, where we shift your perspective to only see what you wish to experience, right? And we know that perspective creates your life. Whatever your perspective is, your life will follow up, man. So super important to make sure that you keep the right perspective at all times. What's perspective? Right, just in case you may not know, perspective is the way you see things, your dogmas, your core beliefs, how you see life. You know what I'm saying? That's what perspective is. So if you, whatever your perspective is, your life will be the same. So if you think money is hard, if you think it's hard in life, um, you will experience those things. You know what I'm saying? So we want to give you the right perspective in life. That's why we here every day except Sunday, um, uh, to at 5:30 a.m. because we want to be the first thing that you see. We want to be able to put a good perspective in your mind on what life is and what values and how grateful we are, how blessed we are, right? And so that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So again, welcome to the morning shift with Corey Cofield. I just want to get a few things out the way before we jump into the talk. One thing is, run over to my YouTube, please. We're gonna be doing a lot of content. We're filming some stuff actually this weekend. Some talks that we're gonna be posting. It's gonna be really nice. So if you could run over to YouTube and give me a subscribe, it's Corey_Cofield. My website is CoreyCofield.com. You can go over there, check us out, get some of my custom merch. We got the Make America Dream Again hats. We got a lot of the Do Not Disturb line is coming out. And I do not endorse any political party. I want to say that up top. When you see this Make America Dream Again, I do not endorse any political party. This is an idea that came from me to say I feel like people got their opinions on what America is, but I feel like America was created because of the dream. America was made great because people could they could come here and be what they wanted to be. The American dream. That's what made America what it was and what it is today. Is that you have the ability to dream and go do it, right? So anyway, that's that. And that's why we represent this, because we wear what we believe. But we jumping into this today. Let me read something to you. The morning shift for Corey Cofield. Today's episode is titled "Take the Scenic Route." Okay. In this transformative episode of the morning shift, I would deliver a compelling message about the power of patience, process, and purposeful delay. Titled "Take the Scenic Route." This episode is a reminder that sometimes the long way is the right way, and the only way to become who you truly designed to be. In this fast-paced culture that glorifies overnight success, quick wins, and instant gratification, I'm going to challenge you to resist the pressure to rush. The scenic route may not be flashy, but it builds the kind of foundation that shortcuts can never offer you. It builds your character. It builds wisdom, endurance, resilience. Some of the things that we're going to walk away with and we're going to explore today is why shortcuts often lead to setbacks. See, people think that when you take the shortcut, it's quicker. Mm-mm. I can show you, I will be showing you several things that happens when you take shortcuts and why it's not the best way. How rushing can cost you your peace, purpose, and your integrity. I tell people, stop rushing. You're American. I think it was funny. I guess it all that matters, right? It's like, The benefits of taking your time to become mentally, spiritually, emotionally equipped. How the scenic route builds confidence, clarity, and competency. Okay. Today we're going to share a few real stories and scriptural truths as well that support the value of going slow to grow strong. All right. This episode is for anyone who feels behind, overlooked, or frustrated by delay. It's for the dreamers who are tempted to compromise just to get ahead faster. My message will realign your perspective and strengthen your resolve to stay the course. Do not trade your value for speed. Don't sacrifice your character for convenience. Don't arrive at your destination broken because you skipped the process that would have made you whole. If you're tired of the pressure to perform and ready to embrace the process that transforms, then take the scenic route. Tag somebody who you think that may be able to relate with this. Okay, tag somebody, man. Share the live, y'all. Share the live for me, please. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Apparel, Be Like, sharing, everybody's on. I appreciate y'all. Today we're talking about taking the scenic route. Why is taking the slow route maybe faster? No, going faster is not always better. Okay. The first thing we're going to deal with today is why shortcuts often lead to setbacks. I think this was interesting as I took my time to I got to give me some tea too. I got when you speak and your mouth gets dry right here. So I got a suggestion yesterday. They said get tea. Hot tea is the best thing for when you're speaking. So I'm going to go out today and give me some tea. Y'all know some good tea to get? DM me, man. Y'all know a good brand or something? Because I really don't know about tea. You know, I want to get into it, but to be transparent, I really don't know exactly what tea to get. But I'm going to explore today. So if y'all know a tea to get, throw it on the chat. Throw it in the DM, right? Also, if y'all can, man, y'all can jump on y'all social media and tag somebody. Share the live with somebody, man. Okay? So let's jump into this today, man. Why shortcuts often leads to setbacks. So let me preference this with let me preface this whole episode with me, right? So y'all know I always use my life because that's the only thing I really have that I have proof, right? That I have proof of what I'm saying. And so my life growing up, I will always take the shortcut, right? If we were running and we had to stop at a certain line, I would try to always stop before that line because I felt like I was getting a head start back on other people. 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't come in any better, right? But I would seem to always take the short route, right? Time to clean my bed up. I'll pull the top sheet up without straightening up the bottom sheet. And then I'll run outside, right? Because it's time to play. So I will rush through that process of straightening my bed up because I wanted to get outside. So I would rush to straighten my bed up, half do it, and then go outside. But the problem was my mom know me. Like, how many know your mom know you, right? How many know your parents know you? And so it's so funny. Sometimes we try to pull things over on I used to try to pull things over on my mom, my dad, like, yo, and they looking at me like, And now when I look back, I'm like, man, I can see what my kids say, no, Dad. And I'm like, what? Don't you know I done this 1,000 times, right? And so I would get outside. My mom, you clean the room? Yeah. Run outside. And then my mom would go check. Next thing I know, I hear Corey out the side door. I'm like, right in the middle of a good game. So now I gotta leave where I've been picked. Now, most of the time, I'm almost picked to the end last, right? Even my brothers were more athletic, so they getting picked right away on the football team or whatever we were doing. And so I barely get picked. So now my mom called me, so I gotta leave and give up my spot because now she telling me, come clean this bed. So now I gotta go back to clean the bed. And when I get in there, I gotta walk past my mom at the door. She's sitting at the door just watching me, right? And I already know, boy. I don't know if y'all know, boy, you ever made your mom mad and now you gotta walk past her, but you already know the smack coming. You already know that hand coming, but you got to walk past her like, or you ever been in the car with your mom and you doing something bad and you in the passenger seat and you know she finna come across with that smack, but you still got to be there, right? So this is what I'm feeling. My mom calls me, car, and I got to walk past her. I'm like, I'm walking in there with, walking past, she just let me get all the way past too. Next thing you know, pow, on my back, pop. Didn't I tell you to clean that bed? Get in there and clean it. You know what? Don't come out. So now I'm sitting in there looking stupid because I should have did the task right the first time, but I snuck. I half did it and went outside, and now my mom caught me, and now she's calling me in to come back in and fix the bed that I should have fixed the first time. And now on top of that, I can't go back outside. She normally would let me go back outside after a while, but normally I done missed the game. I come back outside, everybody's sitting back chilling. I'm hyped, but they are tired now because they done ran for 2 hours and I've been in the house. All because I took the shortcut on making my bed. I was the same way when it came to ironing my clothes. I was the same way when it came to anything I did. When it came to my schoolwork, I would rush through it because I wanted to be the first to get done, but not really worried about the accuracy of what the information I was putting down. And as I looked at my life, I always would be the person to take the shortcut. When it came to the street life, I went after the fast money. My brothers would always hold down jobs. They would hold down jobs. I can't think of one job I ever had my whole life that lasted, I don't know if I ever worked a job a whole year in my life, right? Before I became an entrepreneur. I guess that's the job I worked. Working for myself, but working for myself literally came out of being fired and couldn't work for nobody else because I was so rebellious and didn't want to, had leadership issues and all that. Well, I didn't want to fall under anybody and nobody telling me what to do. So that led to me getting my own business and operating my own business. But growing up, I always took the shortcut. I always took the shortcut. I always took the elevator or the escalator. But I remember my dad used to always tell me, take the stairs, son. In life, take the stairs. Because he used to say this, because when you take the elevator, it takes you straight up. You take the escalator, all these things takes you straight up and you miss steps. But my dad said, when you take the stairs, you get to see what's on every step. And I promise you that I really didn't see that when I was coming up. I really couldn't. To me, I was thinking like, Dad, you old. That's an old perspective. Why would I take all day doing something when I can do it like this and get it done faster? But how many know everything that's fast is not better? How many know when you put your food in the microwave and warm it up fast with all the microwaves, what you call that junk, radiation? Do you know you killing your food? You're unaliving your food. You're unaliving your food every time you put it in a microwave. So just because it's quicker, does it make it better? I would beg to differ. I would say that is worse. I would say that is worse. Just because it's faster don't make it more nutritious. Right? Just because it's faster don't make it the best option. Right? And so to be transparent, I was always moving so fast. I was always taking the fast route. And when I look back at my life right now, 53, it's such a blur. Like the whole school years and all that is such a blur to me because I just skip right through it. I can't even really put my hands on like a lot of my childhood. Like I got a lot of memories, but when I say it was a blur, it was just like blew past because I never really lived in the moment. I was always either stuck in the past or I was daydreaming about the future or what I was going to be. You know, while it's good to keep only see what you wish to experience, while it's good to keep a mental blueprint of what you want to be and brood over it and think about it and keep it in the forefront of your mind, though that's good, you have to live in the present time. You have to take time to enjoy the moment. As B-Like said, slow down and take time to enjoy the moment. So today we're talking about the scenic route. Why taking the scenic route is better and why shortcuts often lead to setbacks. Let me tell you this. Shortcuts may offer speed, but they regular. Oh, let me see. Shortcuts may offer speed, but they rarely deliver stability. A study published in the Journal of Organizational Behavior found that individuals who take ethical shortcuts under pressure often experience long-term consequences such as damaged reputations, loss of trust, both personally and professionally. In business, listen to this, man. These are statistics. Y'all know I always come with the facts, right? I always come with the receipts. This is a study that was done by the Journal of Organizational Behavior. And they found that individuals who took shortcuts, who took ethical shortcuts under pressure often experience long-term consequences, such as a damaged reputation, the loss of trust, and that was both personally and professionally. Now, this is a study that showed taking the shortcut normally don't work out, and it's normally worse. See, this is imperative that we get this because this is the reason why a lot of our young kids end up in jail because they don't want to take the route to build their lives. So they go take penitentiary chances. They take chances in doing stuff that they know they shouldn't do because they're trying to jump the line. While jumping the line is good in certain ways, right? While jumping the line is good in certain ways, in other ways it's not. See, the only time it's good to jump the line. Hold on, y'all. I got a text coming in. Streaming live right now, bro. I'll hit you right back. The only way jumping the line is good, it's if you already have the information and knowledge that it takes to keep you there. So just say like you've been doing the mind work, you've been doing the work on yourself, building your character, and you meet somebody to say, hey, listen, I got a plug, man. I got a connection over at this such and such. Like they looking for people like you. Normally you gotta wait on the waiting list, but since I know the owner, man, I can get your name in there. You say, okay, bet, and you take that. That's helping you jump the line. That's good because favor come on 2 feet, right? That's a good way to take a shortcut, right? You may know somebody that's plugged to the owner, or you may have a connection to get you in a movie, or get you on a commercial, or a connection with a big producer to get you a track that you normally wasn't used to getting. So I had to plug back in the day when I was doing music. I had a connection to this producer called Nephew, right? Nephew still is a big producer in the industry. He was the first person that did that 50 Cent song In the Club. Y'all remember 50 Cent song when he came out In the Club? That song, doom, 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 doom. You know what I'm saying? So he produced that. He produced a bunch of stuff for a lot of people. And I ended up meeting him, and I didn't even know who he was. And we were just talking about music, and I let him hear my stuff. He was like, boy, this is dope. And we ended up talking 3 or 4 times after that. And I never even knew who he was until about the 4th time we met up, he ended up telling me. And I was like, what? I ain't believe him. I'm like, Nephew, like, because a lot of times in producers, you don't really see their face, like in front of the camera, because they make the beats, But he invited me to the studio. He was working on Alicia Keys' album at the time, and some Snoop Dogg stuff. And I was just like, wow, And he gave me some tracks. So them are kind of ways that you can jump the line. That's good. But just say somebody come up to you, hey, yo, look. Hey, bro, I got a plug where we can break into this warehouse. And in the warehouse, they got all this stuff. We can take all that, man. And, all we got to do is go sell all that after we break in there. They got cameras, so we got to put stuff over our face. See, anything that can cause you to lose if you get caught is not a good connection. Because, see, people will always show you the good side of it, but they never show you the part of you getting caught. My dad, back in the day, my dad was a pastor, rest in peace. His first sermon that he ever preached, I remember I was about 7, 8, maybe a little older, maybe 10. The name of the sermon was, It Won't Cost You Nothing. And he talked about how the enemy will show you the good part of things and tell you it won't cost you nothing. He won't share the part where you end up getting strung out on a narcotic or something. He'll tell you, oh, you can do this. It's only $5. You only can pay $10. It's really cheap drug. You get high, whatever. So you look at all the good parts of it. But he won't tell you that in a month you'll be strung out and all your money and every single dime that you got is going to go to this. It's going to mess up your whole body. You're going to look, your skin going to start getting sores on it. He don't tell you none of that stuff. He just tell you the good part. And see, a lot of times when we take the shortcuts, we just be looking at the good part. But I just read a statistic that showed most times that people took ethical shortcuts when they cut corners in order to get ahead, it end up being worse for them. Right? It ended up being worse for them. Let me tell y'all, people let me tell y'all this. Even in Proverbs, it says this, 21:5, it says, the plans of a diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. Everyone who is hasty only comes to poverty. So this matters what I'm saying right here, y'all. We have to slow down and let the process develop us. We have to slow down and allow ourselves to be created. See, pressure creates a diamond, but it's not an instant process. It's not an instant process. We just talked, I think Monday, I talked about, I don't forgot the name of the root, the name of the tree right now, but the tree grows, and once it's fully grown, it then takes 5 to 8 years for the fruit to bear. Can you imagine building a house, putting everything in it, but then you got to wait 5 years to use the bathroom? Can you imagine that? This tree, I think it's called the jackfruit, if I'm not mistaken. It's called the jackfruit, right? Jackfruit is fully grown now. It takes the process, it goes through the process of growing. Now you already got to wait for that. So that could take some years or whatever for the jack tree to grow, fully grown. Then once it's fully grown, it then takes 5 to 8 years to bear fruit. Yo, that's crazy. Think about that. So sometimes the process takes time to develop. Sometimes the process takes time to develop, right? Sometimes what you're working on is not going to work right away. Sometimes you got to plant something. Like I said yesterday, remember, you plant that seed and then you put it and you water it. We talked about the water is your words and your thoughts you speak over it. Your faith is the soil and your dream is the seed. So you take your dream, which is a seed, plant it in the soil, which is your faith, and then you water it with your thoughts and your words, and it grows. But you got to understand this is a process, y'all. Let's keep going. How rushing can cost you your peace, purpose, and your integrity. When people rush into decisions, they often bypass discernment, wisdom, and preparation. A 2015 study by the American Psychological Association showed that decision-making under stress leads to impulsive, emotional instability, and regret. Y'all know every time I say something, I'm doing the backwards water wave. When I'm telling you something is dope, this right here confirms it. We have to slow down. Rushing is not good. Taking the shortcuts is not good. It literally said in 2015, a study by the American Psychological Association showed that decisions making under stress leads to impulsive emotional stability and regret. Emotional instability and regret. Fast decision making without proper reflection often leads to misalignment. Rushing relationships, careers, or callings can leave you out of position and out of peace. Let's use some scripture, man, because I know a lot of y'all, some people won't listen to it unless they see it in the Bible, right? But Isaiah 28:16, whoever believes will not act hastily. Whoever believes will not act hastily. When you trust in God, you focus on steadiness and not speed. When you acting in faith, that means you moving in purpose, not panic. We have to move in purpose, not panic. When you're moving in panic, when you're doing stuff fearfully, you get behind on some bills. So now you say, okay, I got to take this chance because I got to get this money. Those are fear-based thoughts. Those are fear-based thoughts. Fear-based thoughts. Again, Isaiah 28:16, whoever believes will not be hasty. Right? That means you're not rushing around for nothing. Proverbs 21:5, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. Bro, this stuff, look, God been telling us the same thing forever. God been telling us the same thing forever, man. And although I'm not, I used to be way super religious, right? Super religious. But I had a great fall in the church where I messed up real bad. I ended up telling on myself, and I took a big fall. We're gonna talk about that one day as well, because y'all know I'm super transparent. But that broke me out of all the tradition, because the church ended up kicking me out, and I had to. I was left with just me and God. I had no other alternative. It was just me and Him, not Him as in a man, because I don't believe in a gender and a guy, you know. But just me and God. I had nobody else to talk to. The people who I thought loved me all deserted me. They all talked about me. You know what I'm saying? They all said things that wasn't good about my situation. And before I knew it, I was alone by myself. And the only person I had to talk to was God. But in that time, God showed me. Exactly. You can't get kicked out of God's house. Exactly. But I did. So that lets you know. But I'm not here to tear nobody down, because what I did was terrible. I actually had a fall. I'll tell you all about it. Got caught up in some mischief with another female, and I was married, and end up cheating, just being 100, man. I'm transparent with my life. This is about 15 years ago, but it ended up ruining. At that time, it ended up ruining my marriage. But like I said, I went and told on myself. Nobody caught me. Nobody did this. I told on myself. I was so convicted. I went and told, like, listen, this is what I've been doing. And they responded certain ways. And I ended up, like I said, getting kicked out, asked to leave. And but like I said, I was a really high person in the ministry. And so maybe I deserved it. I don't know. But at the end of the day, if I see a man that come tell me the truth, I'm definitely not going to do that. I'm going to be like, what? Like, who would tell on themselves anyway? That's the first thing I'm thinking. But long story short, that whole situation pushed me to just see God. It pushed me to go after Him with everything I had, because I had nobody else. Right. And so I just learned a lot in that time, because I had everything I believed in, like the church and all that. I wasn't going no more. And I still haven't reconnected all the way to like going into a church every Sunday like that now. But I'm up every morning at 4. I'm in my prayer time. I'm in God's face, and I'm hearing God more than ever now. More than ever. So I say all that to say I'm not where I was, like far as being in the church, but I still know the Bible. I still know the Bible, and I live it. You feel me? I really do. I really do live it. Right. God forgive me. God forgave me. I know He did. Right. Now, whether man forgive you or not, so what? You can't deal with that. Some people probably still talking about that situation, but I'm moving on. I'm helping people. I've paid for it over and over again, but more than anything, it brought it whatever, like God says, whatever's meant for your bad, He's gonna turn it to your good. And that situation ended up being one of the best things that ever happened to me. because it took me out of religion. It took me out of this cloud living I was in. And it took me straight to God, and it made me realize who I really was in him. And so that situation changed me for the better. Like I said, I got to get me some tea. I was recommended to get tea when I'm talking is better. So I'm going to go out today and try to order me some. So yeah, I know, B, like you said, you're going to shoot me a few teas to get. So if y'all know some good teas that I can get, send them to me, DM me. But we talking about taking the scenic route, how taking shortcuts don't always prosper you, right? And I just talked about a 2015 study that the American Psychology Association showed that decision-making under stress leads to impulsive and emotional instability and regret, right? Fast decision-making without proper reflection often leads to misalignment, right? Often leads to misalignment. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. The benefits of taking your time to become mentally, spiritually, and emotionally equipped. What's the benefits? What's the benefits of taking the scenic route? What's the benefits for taking the stairs? Right? I told you my dad used to always say, Corey, take the stairs. Because when you take the stairs in life, when you take the stairs in your career, you get to carry your integrity with you. You get to step on every step and see what's on every step and prepare for every step. But sometimes when you just go up fast, you take the elevator, you miss the preparation. And before you know it, you at the top. But the point is, are you prepared for the top? Are you prepared for the top? Are you mentally prepared for what it would take? Do you know that God will never take you where your integrity won't keep you? God will never take you where your integrity won't keep you. So that's why it's important not to take the scenic. That's why it's important to take the scenic route and not the fast way. And we want everything so fast, but I'm telling you, your life is being built. It's being built in every way, shape, and form. So today, just relax. Skate through the life. Sit back and know that every situation you're in right now is meant for your good. Move this camera a little bit. Okay. Every situation you're in right now is meant for your good. Everything that's happening is creating you into who you need to be. Welcome to the morning shift, y'all, with Corey Cofield, where we shift your perspective to only see what you wish to experience. Okay? And know that we stream every day except Sundays. We stream every day except Sundays, and we here at 5:30 a.m. PST, 8:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, right? 7:30 Central. So yeah, y'all, we here. Share the live with somebody if you're hearing something that resonates with you, right? So today we're talking about just taking a scenic route, right? And we going over. We talked about some things that happens that's not good for you. Let's cover the benefits of being equipped as you take your time to build yourself into who you is. The scenic route allows you to grow with depth. In a 2010 study from Stanford University on emotional development found that slower, deliberate life transitions contribute to higher levels of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and resilience. Yo, man, I'd be so grateful because the receipts is right here. I'm just not talking, man. We covering real stuff. See, you listening to this because you're a high vibrator, right? You vibrate at a high level, and your frequencies have to be high. You have to operate on a higher level when it comes to your perspective and how you think. And when you're thinking at an excellent level, right? I heard Kobe Bryant say how he would run through when they did their sprints from line to line in the gym. He would know who was really about it, watching who stopped before that line, or who crossed the line all the way and then turned around. It shows something about you when you don't take a shortcut. It shows something about you when you go the extra mile to be great, right? And guess what? It prepares you for promotion. Because if you're a person who takes the shortcut, the universe don't reward that. When I say universe, I mean the universal God. You don't reward that. When you take shortcuts and half do what you meant to do. How many of us go into jobs, right? I know people who got jobs and they do the bare minimum there. The bare minimum. People paying them to do one thing, but they go in and try to do less as possible. Do you know you would never receive? Let me get this right. You would never get more until you do more, right? So if you hired to do a job, until you go in there and do 1,000% past what they paid you to do, is the only way you deserve promotion, right? Let me say it like this. Somebody paying you $30 an hour to do a certain job. You do that certain job every day, exactly to the T, what they tell you to do. You're doing exactly that, nothing over. If they say you got to do X, Y, Z, you go in, you do X, Y, Z only, nothing else. That's good, because you did what they paid you to do. You do that 10 years. And then you go to your boss and say, I deserve a raise. I've been here 10 years. And the boss say, okay, for 10 years, you did exactly what I paid you to do, right? Yeah. So why do you deserve a raise? You did exactly what you were paid to do. Your value is the same. So why do you deserve to be paid more just because you did the exact same thing 10 years? That doesn't warrant a raise. And people get mad. I've been here 10 years, they ain't even gave me a raise. You're doing the exact same thing you did 10 years ago, the exact same way, and you have not increased in value one bit. But just say 10 years, you go in there and say, hey, boss, I think I deserve a raise. And the boss looks and, hold on, let me check. Wow. You were scheduled to come in at 7 o'clock, but every day you got here at 6:30 punched in. You got here at 6:30. You were supposed to be only putting out 500 units a day, but that extra 30 minutes that you got here, you got to do an extra 300. So now you put out 800 when everybody else put out 500. Wow. On days I see here, you were supposed to get off at 5 p.m., but you stayed to 6. You see where I'm going? So now you've set yourself up to deserve something different because you've added more value to whatever you were paid to do. So when I do stuff for people, I don't care if I tell you to pay me $10. If I agree to take $10, I'm still going to give you a job like you paid 1,000. See, some people take shortcuts. They're only going to give you barely what you paid for. Right? But that mentality won't prosper you. That mentality won't put you in front of the line. You just like everybody else. But you got to set yourself above everybody else. When I come, anything I do now, I told you I grew up always taking the back door, always taking the shortcut. That was me. You know what I'm saying? That was me, always taking the shortcut. But now, and I did it for years. They barely skirting by, doing exactly what I needed to do and even less if I could, right? You only move forward when you do more than what you paid to do. That's the mentality we got to get. Let's say, listen, the benefits, you're mentally, spiritually, and emotionally getting equipped before you move. Like I said, the Scenic Route allows you to grow in depth. A 2010 study from Stanford University on emotional development found that slower, deliberate life transitions contribute to higher levels of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and resilience. In spiritual development, consistent time in study, prayer, and reflection has been shown to increase both mental well-being and purpose clarity. Right? According to the Pew Research Center, people who engage regularly in spiritual practice reported higher life satisfaction and lower stress levels. Let's bring the word in there. Y'all want to hear it, right? James 1:4. Let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfected and complete, lacking nothing. Taking time isn't delay, it's divine preparation. God has been telling us the whole time, slow down, relax. And see, that's what all this social media stuff give us. It make us think that we're supposed to have all this stuff right away. You got 18-year-olds thinking that they're supposed to have houses and land. Bro, you 18. You got to build your life. And then guess what? Once you go through all this, now you rushing to get stuff and you end up getting caught up and the rest of your life taken away from you because you didn't want to go through the process. James 1:4, let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfected and complete, lacking nothing. So this is literally saying, let patience have its perfect work in you. So being patient creates something in you. Being patient in life, it establishes something in you. Patience is a life changer, literally. You just heard even what the Bible said about it. And this, like I said, when I bring stuff, I'm bringing the scientific side of it, the studies that man did that had nothing to do with religion. And then I'm going to tie it in and say, listen, here's where God said this at. So I just showed you the Stanford University study that said people who developed emotionally slow, people who took their time to develop emotionally had higher levels of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and resilience. Yo, this is it right here. We got to be patient, man. We got to slow down and think and quit thinking everything finna pop up so fast. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, man. Things don't just pop up out of nowhere. We also talked about the bamboo tree that take 2 to 7 years to even pop up out the dirt. Think about it, if you plant something and it can take up to 7 years for you to see an inch of proof. Come on, man. Tell me how many of us will really be patient with that? But everything that God ever created has a purpose and a time. Every plan that you're part of is divinely set up for you. I told y'all before, my ex, we used to be driving and she's driving And she's driving like Mary Poppins, like all like, I thought it was slow. I'm like, come on, hurry up. Because I had this old rush through life mentality, like, go, go, woo, woo, woo. And she'll be like, I'll be like, get over, go, hurry up, cut the person off. She's like, no, my spot is my spot, and it's going to be available for me when I need it. And I'm looking at her like, you lame. Get enraged like me. Be mad and stressed out like me. Forcing your way over. And if you just wait, but you know what? And I gotta be transparent. I promise you, every time she will do that, a lane will just open up and she'll get over. Blinker. Then look at me. Keep driving. I'm like, yo, I'm looking back at that stuff, man. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you right now, man, your route is made for you. And that's why I tell people to follow your yellow brick road. Follow your yellow brick road. Bam. This book is all about your purpose and your passion. You can go over to the website, CoreyCofield.com, and pick it up, man. Thank y'all for the support. But I'm telling you, in your path, when you're on your yellow brick road, it lines up perfectly. And like I told y'all the other day, you see how I got the bricks designed where it's like rugged? You can see like the rugged. That was purposely done because I'm saying your yellow brick road may have some bumps on it. You know how you ride a bike on you might have that. It might be some bumps on your road. But if you stay on your road, you're going to get to where you're going. In The Wiz, every time Dorothy got off the yellow brick road, she bumped into flying monkeys and wicked witches. Some adversity she came to every time she got off her yellow brick road. So every time you jump off your path, every time you rush into something to do something, and you are going to bump into flying monkeys and wicked witches. How many of y'all can contest to bumping into some people that you know you weren't meant to bump in because you're moving out of line? Right? Come on, man. This is the real deal. Let's talk about this. How the Scenic Route builds confidence, clarity, excuse me. How does it build confidence, clarity, and competence? Taking the long road allows you to build skill, sharpen vision, and gain internal strength. Here we go with the receipts. The University of Chicago found that mastery-based learning, where time is given to truly understand a subject, resulted in higher long-term retention and confidence. There you go. A University of Chicago found that when you gave people a longer time to take their time and study and take their time to really do a mastery-based learning. So higher level learning. When you mastery-based, that means you at a master's level. So a higher learning, when anytime you gave people time to learn mastery skills, and they took their time to do it, and it wasn't a rush, it resulted in higher long-term retention. That means they remembered it longer, and it made them get more confidence. Taking our time to just learn, and the process, what we're doing in life, is always better, I promise you. Take the Scenic Route. Likewise, clarity and purpose is not usually born in a rush. Likewise, clarity of purpose is not usually born in a rush. It's revealed in motion over time. When you walk with God, when you walk with the universe, when you walk in your calling, it gets revealed in your next step. not in the whole staircase. What does that mean? So a lot of times when you got a call and God calls you to do something and you know you got something to do in your life, you don't see the whole picture right away. You don't see the whole staircase. You just see one step in front of you. Most times. Sometimes God will tell you to do something and you don't even know what it's for at all. You just do it. But just imagine looking at a big staircase. And if you took your time walking up them stairs looking at the top, you might trip. But if you take your time and take a step on every step, you would get to the top. Way better. Look at, once again, we say we do a scientific study and then we come with a biblical example of where you can see where God's been saying this for a long time. Look at David. David was anointed to be king as a teenager. He was a teenager and they said he would be king. But what happened? But he didn't even take the throne until years later. He took the scenic route. But in that scenic route, he built wisdom, confidence, and leadership skills to rule with integrity. So David was told as a kid that he was going to be king, but it didn't happen till years later. But in that time, in between those two spaces, was the developmental process. So you can't skip the developmental process. Y'all hear that? Let's take time to go through what we need to do to learn to be able to build ourselves. I'm going to be out of here in a second, y'all. Give me about 15 more minutes and we wrapping up. Because I want to tell y'all real stories. I want to tell y'all real stories biblically that represented people taking the slow route. Joseph, betrayed and imprisoned, but through years of waiting, he developed wisdom and character. He took the scenic route and he saved the nation. This is in Genesis 37 through 50. You can look that up. Look at the process Joseph went through. Right? Moses went through the same thing. He spent 40 years in the wilderness before God called him into Israel. The delay prepared him for his purpose, though. Yahshua, the ultimate. Waited 30 years to start a ministry. It only took 3 years. Let me show you this. Here's someone on the not on the spiritual level who took the time and it came out good for them. I don't know if y'all ever heard of this book called Grit, Grit. It's by Angela Duckworth. It's a book called Grit. It shows that perseverance and passion for long-term goals are greater predictors of success than talent and speed. Her studies prove that those who persist through the scenic route develop deeper strengths and achieve more lasting outcome. You hear that? A book called Grit. She did a lot of studies in there, but she showed that perseverance and passion for long-term goals are greater predictors of success than talent and speed. So it's not about how fast you do stuff or how talented you was, but the person who took time to study and really learn the craft done better than the people that was just talented or was fast at it. Angela Duckworth. It's a book called Grit. Go get that. Go get that. Now listen, in my closing, I just want to tell you that I wrote this paragraph as I was thinking about this. It said the scenic route is not the easy road, but it's the road that's built and made to build you. It grows your faith, it sharpens your vision, and it equips you to handle the very thing that you're praying for. Don't be afraid to take time. Don't be afraid to move in God's timing, because you're never late. You're just being prepared. You're just being prepared. Trust me, God ain't forgot about you. God ain't forgot about you at all. The universe haven't forgot about you. It may look like it, but I'm telling you, everything in me telling you right now, you are not forgotten. But you have to be patient. You have to be patient. You have to be patient. You have to take time to develop. Did y'all know the black room that they developed film in back in the day? They had a process to develop in film. You took the film and then you have to put it in this black room, and before you expose it, and you got to give it a chance to be ready. And it was a whole process that took a long time. And once you finish, then you bring the picture out and people can see it. But it's a process in developing that shot. As we talked about before, it's different trees that you plant, different seeds that you plant, and it takes years to sprout. But we can't keep digging up our seed just because we don't see it right away. We go dig the seed up. Hold on, where's my seed at? We go dig the seed up, right? Excuse me. Hold on. We go dig the seed up. Check it. Is it growing? Is it growing? No, it's not growing. Put it back. There we go. Then we dig it up the next day. Is it growing? No. Every time you doubt it, every time you say a negative word over it, every time you allow your mind to think doubt, you digging up your seed. So just know every seed you planted is actually growing as we speak. Every seed you planted. So just be patient. Be patient in the process and know that it's going to work for your good. Be patient in the process and know it's going to work for your good. Now, listen to this. I was just doing some research, and I was doing some research and finding people who took the fast route and like it didn't work out for them, right? And so I came across this story of this lady named Elizabeth Holmes. And I'm like, wow, what happened to her, yo? I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna tell y'all a few of these people I found that took the shortcut and it ruined everything. And all they had to do is just wait a little while longer and prepare, and it would change their life. I mean, some people cost them billions of dollars and millions. Listen to this. Elizabeth Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes, founder of the biotech startup, I think it's called Theranos. It was a biotech company. She promised revolutionary blood testing technology that could perform hundreds of tests from just a drop of blood. However, instead of taking time to fully develop and validate the technology, she rushed it to market with faulty equipment and misled investors with falsified results. Look what happened. Her shortcut to fame and billions unraveled in one of the biggest corporate scandals in U.S. history in 2022. Holmes was convicted of fraud and sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. What's the lesson? Pursuing rapid success without building real substance and integrity leads to collapse. Had Holmes taken a long road of scientific testing and transparency, the company would have became something really big, because she took the short route and she made billions off of it. But it was all based upon lies, misleading investors, and false results. But everybody that knew her program said she really had a good thing. But she rushed to market because guess what? She was scared other people would do it before her. She was scared other people would develop the idea before her idea. But let me tell you this, you cannot live your life like that. If it was meant for you to do, if you thought of it, it was meant for you to do it. Nobody can't take your dream. There's no competition in what you were called to do. That's why I don't compete with people. I don't compete with people. Why? You're not in my lane. I'm not in your lane. There's no competition. I know people that won't. It's funny. They won't refer you to nothing. I know people for years that never referred me to one dime, referred me to make one dime, but I referred them to hundreds of dollars, thousands and thousands of dollars. See, I'm not intimidated by somebody else coming around. Why? Because they don't do what I do. Even if they do what I do, you can shoot film. I own a production company, I60 Studios, like Isaiah 60. Y'all can look me up, i60studios.com, right? I own a studio, right? And I don't care if other people come around and own studios. You'll never see me intimidated by that. You'll never see me intimidated by that. I don't care what somebody else do. Because guess what? They're not gonna do it like me. They can have cameras just like me, but they're not gonna do it like me. So I don't worry about what other people doing. So she was worried that other people would take her thing, so she rushed it and made billions, but it was false. And she ended up losing everything, her reputation, and ended up going to prison for 11 years. She's still there right now. Look, shortcuts may feel like you're on fast forward, but often they lead straight to failure. Integrity, patience, and progress are the ingredients that makes the success last. Integrity, patience, and process. That's what's built, and that's what builds a successful venture. So that's all I got, y'all. Oh, that's all I got. Oh, don't forget about Lance Armstrong, the professional cyclist. Lance Armstrong took performance-enhancing drugs to dominate the world of cycling, winning 7 consecutive Tours de France titles. Instead of relying solely on hard work and natural ability, he chose the shortcut and used supplements. The outcome: after years of denial, Armstrong was exposed and stripped of all his tours. He lost millions of dollars in scholarship and sponsorships. His reputation and his respect of fans followed in the destruction. What's the lesson in this? Shortcuts to success may offer temporary glory, but they can destroy your legacy. The scenic route, training, patience, and ethics will have preserved his name in the long run. He lost millions of dollars and all the stuff that he worked hard to get. So those are my examples, y'all. That's it. That's all I got. So take the scenic route. Build your life slowly but surely, right? Build your life slowly but surely. Whatever you're doing, do it like they're paying you $1 million right now. Some people watching from your job right now. Listen, from now on, show up like they paying you 10 million. Do your job like they paying you $100 million. And I guarantee you it won't be a short time, but you will be promoted. And some of that time, you're going to be promoted past the people that stood over you. And guess what? The next thing to remember, you're going to need people to work on your vision and your goals the same way. And how you dedicate yourself to others will determine how people dedicate themselves to you. So just remember that. That's why when I do anything, man, I do it 1,000%. Like I said, you can pay me $50. If I agree to that 50, I'm doing the job like you paid me 50,000. I'm gonna give you a high quality turnaround because you deserve it. So just function like that in life. Know that you're building something. And let me say this in closing. It takes longer to build a skyscraper than it does a chicken coop. It takes longer to build a skyscraper than it does a chicken coop. We're building skyscrapers. So it may take you a little time. It may take you a little time, but just keep dreaming. Keep dreaming, keep dreaming, keep dreaming, keep going. Keep going, man. A few announcements before I jump off. Y'all do me a favor, run over to YouTube. If you're not already following me on YouTube, subscribing to me, brother, run over and give me a subscription, y'all. I appreciate that. We're going to be shooting a lot of content that's going to be on YouTube. And we appreciate y'all. Don't forget, every Monday, we on MindFest meetup at 6:30 p.m. California time. It's a place where we bring like-minded people together on Zoom. You got all kind of people, doctors, lawyers, all kind of people there that come. And so listen, y'all show up there. If you want the Zoom link, just DM me and I can give you the link. You know, we don't put it out there because we might get people that's not. I ain't gonna even talk about that. Check it out though. Go get the book for me. Follow your yellow brick road, your passion leads to your provision. It's over at my website, CoreyCofield.com. This book teaches you how to find your passion, and it gives you detailed steps on how to get it, right? And so you can get it at CoreyCofield.com. We also got our custom merch, Make America Dream Again. I am not in support of any political party. This dream is simply to help other people dream. So I appreciate y'all. We jumping off, man. We was here, we did our thing. Hopefully this resonated with some of y'all. Okay, I appreciate y'all. And if you want to support in any way, that's the Cash App on the screen. Thank you for that. CTE Cash, CTE Cash. What else? YouTube. Okay, we also over on Amazon. You know, you can go over there and check us out. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Thank y'all. I so appreciate y'all watching. And we'll be back up on, let me see. Yeah, we got 2 more days of TikTok. We'll be streaming back there on TikTok. They banned me and said I was doing hate speech and hateful behavior. And I promise you, I don't know what they're talking about. But I think I kind of got a clue. I was working with this company on TikTok. You know, they got these companies that like liaisons between you and TikTok, and you kind of like sign with them a contract, and they promote your content, they promote your stuff and all this, right? And so they do that for live creators, like people who go live. So TikTok pays them, but so when they get clients like myself, they help you navigate through your lives, help you to get more views and all this stuff. But the company I signed with, they weren't doing nothing. You know, he would say stuff and didn't deliver it. You know, took a couple days to get back. So I quit. So when you sign up, you got 15 days to cancel the contract, or you got to give them a written letter after 30 days. So I saw they weren't doing that right away within the 15 days. So canceled. Like, nah. And so next thing I know, my live get reported as hateful and hate speech. And I know it had to be them. I don't want to make assumptions, but who else would do that, right? Somebody had to report me, anonymously report me. And TikTok don't really take no time to really, they just cancel your account. And so that's what they did. They restricted my live for 3 days, man. It was crazy. But One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. We still streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. We still streaming on all those. So listen, y'all have a God day. I so appreciate y'all checking in with me. We'll be back tomorrow. We're here Monday through Saturday. Sunday, I'm just going to chill, man. I'll be up every day at 4 o'clock a.m. And so time to catch up with you, right? And so I appreciate y'all. Y'all make it a great day. Don't let nobody pull your energy down, okay? Share this with somebody if y'all can. All right, I appreciate you. God day.